Hello and welcome to IABM TV. Today I'm delighted to welcome back David Phillips, Principal Architect for M&E Solutions at Cloudian. David, welcome back to IABM TV.
Thanks, Ben. Happy to be here.
So, David, can you start by let's talk about ransomware protection and what Cloudian are doing around this topic?
Yeah, it's become really, something important in the space because, ransomware attacks are up some 97% over the last 2 years. And, it's become this vicious cycle because 51% of companies actually pay the ransom because they don't have confidence that, whatever backup strategy they have, that they have sufficient access to the data or sufficiently backed up. And so, it's become such an issue that we have really responded with our product by releasing our S3 object lock capability. At this point in time, this is a technology that came out of Amazon, AWS, and their S3 service, and has become the industry de facto standard. And so what this does is that anytime you write your media assets, your data to a Cloudian bucket that with enabled object lock, that data becomes immutable for a period of time, and it's essentially impossible to encrypt it or essentially hold it for ransom. And so this becomes important because previously the best solution was an air gap solution, say a tape set sitting on the shelf. Well, in today's fast-paced production, much less distributed teams and remote productions in the COVID era, people still need all of their data online and accessible anywhere. And so this kind of really achieves the best of both. You have protection against ransomware, but your data is still online and accessible.
And so, David, you must have seen a massive increase in demand in the current climate.
Yeah, we've, and even just last week, you see every week there comes a new story of a major company. Last week, Capcom, was hit with a ransomware attack. It was, can be a serious business disruption, both financially and operationally. So yes, we've are fielding, inquiries from customers all over the world, all over different spaces about how to, protect their data.
I suppose it's important as well. You said at the beginning about how 51% of companies pay that ransom. I suppose once you've paid that ransom, you probably almost go onto a sort of list where people know that you will pay that. So it's really vital to have a system like this set up, isn't it?
Well, and not only, just paying the ransom is no assurance that you're actually going to get your data back. There's some 25% of customers who do pay the ransom don't actually get all of their data back, for different reasons. So, it's become a huge problem. And in the work at home distributed teams, in the current climate, it's really become even more of an issue because email phishing attacks is the kind of primary vector for this. So people are at home, they get an email, they don't have the luxury of like turning to their colleague next to them at the desk and saying, hey, did you get this email? Does this look funny to you? So it's like that kind of like isolation has really increased the problem.
I suppose you always have to try and stay one step ahead, don't you?
Yes, exactly.
And so have you won any awards or anything for these products?
Yeah, we are very happy to receive an award recognition at the recent NAB New York exposition in October, where we received a product of the year from the NAB Association. So I think that really kind of validated for us that it's not just state and local governments and healthcare institutions that in the media industry as well, where your media assets is essentially your crown jewels and the lifeline of your business. It's important in that space as well.
Okay, so finally, David, let's talk about flash capability with these items.
So we've also received a lot of interest and requests from our customers for supporting Flash as the storage backbone for our object storage platform. And this is something we've supported for many years, being a software-defined storage solution. We can run on any hardware, any kind of commodity hardware, and including Flash devices. So we have a customer in Japan who's, rolled out a cluster that they, backed with Flash because they needed that performance profile for, online streaming. So, we've made the leap and said, okay, we're actually going to support this with our hardware appliances, where we're going to release a Flash-based hardware appliance, software hardware bundle, and really kind of, bring to market a kind of appliance bundled solution. And I think what we're seeing is that the industry is moving from seeing object as just this cheap and deep, place for cold archive data to, this is really a general purpose storage platform that, is accessible anywhere, via HTTP. And also, once, if you can have a use case, be it online, OTT streaming, or you have hundreds of users who need to stream video proxies in a video production workflow. So, we've always had been able to scale our performance for the, across a large cluster. You can really get, gigabytes a second, massive, parallel throughput, but really kind of bringing a low latency, profile, to the solution, so that, for things again, like on, OTT streaming or streaming video proxies, you have, a massive ingest for live events, sports and news, where you just need to secure all of these, kind of acquisition assets as quickly as possible, and then distribute them to your creative production teams.
Okay, well, David, thank you very much for joining us today. It's been great speaking with you again.
Thanks so much, Ben.
You can find out more about everything we've discussed with David today at cloudian.com.